You guys want to talk about the Mirage? Let's talk about the Mirage. I know you've probably, well, I hope some of you have been missing the Las Vegas history stuff that I am. So I'm going to talk about the Mirage because the Mirage is a 34-year-old resort and hotel that has actually just closed a couple weeks ago, I think. Well, last week at some point in time. It is making way for the new Hard Rock Hotel. So let's talk about some stuff about the Mirage. The Mirage was opened in 1989. It was actually one of the first casinos that I had gone to when we moved here because I've lived here almost my whole life. It was opened by Steve Wynn, and at the time, it was the largest hotel in the country, actually. Kind of cool, huh? The land that it was on used to belong to the Castaways, which was another hotel, and that was, a portion of that property was demolished to make room for the Mirage. Also, in the 1930s, there was a nightclub, a very famous historical nightclub called the Red Rooster that was on the property, and of course, that's since gone as well. Some cool stuff about the Mirage is in 1990, Siegfried and Roy started to headline their show there, and they stayed there for about 15 years. In that time, the Secret Garden of Siegfried and Roy was built. And no, that's not a euphemism for anything dirty. It was literally an animal habitat within the casino that housed some of the lions and tigers from Siegfried and Roy's act and Siegfried and Roy's menagerie. Because Siegfried and Roy had a house, well, actually Roy lived there because Siegfried and Roy were together anymore by then, but that's a whole other TikTok. We can talk about that too. Roy lived in a house off of Shadow Lane, and it was a huge compound, and that's where the lions and the tigers kind of roamed around and did their thing. I could actually talk about the animal husbandry of Siegfried and Roy in a different TikTok if anybody wants to know. And we used to drive past their house in 6th grade when I went to school. But again, another TikTok. Anyways, there was also a dolphin habitat at the Mirage. Those dolphins have actually been moved to other preserves now safely. So don't worry, the animals are where they need to be. They're safe, they're comfortable, and they're fine. Whenever we would get a new baby dolphin, there would be usually a billboard up somewhere, several of them, saying, hey, we have a new arrival at the Mirage, and they would talk about the baby dolphin. And lots of times they would do contests with locals to name the new baby dolphin. So, yeah. The other really cool thing about the Mirage, attraction-wise, was the volcano out front. And it would erupt nightly, multiple times nightly. Steve Wynn paid the local gas utility a lot of money to take out the ethyl mercaptan, which makes natural gas smell like rotten eggs, because it's added in. And so it was actually changed to pina colada. So when the volcano would erupt, it would smell like pina colada instead of rotten egg smell. It took 3 service technicians who were specifically trained to work on the manifold to help build the volcano eruption. There was the very first Cirque show played at the Mirage. It was called La Nouveau something, I can't remember. But then in 2006, the Beatles' Love was brought in, and it played just until last week, so it played for 18 years. A little bit about the land is the Castaways Hotel was there, but it was demolished to make room. The land originally housed, in the 1930s, a very famous historical building called the Red Rooster, which was a nightclub, but again, that's gone too. The Red Rooster was also the first strip property to ever receive a gaming license. We could talk about gaming licenses too. Another neat thing that I like to talk about is, I'm sure everybody, well, if anybody's seen movies about Las Vegas, you see the Glass Pool Inn, which is or motel, where you see a pool with the big holes, the portholes in the pool, so you can see people swimming by. That was originally called the Mirage Inn, but when Steve Wynn built the Mirage Hotel and Casino, he paid them a whole lot of money, about $250,000, to change their name from the Mirage to the Glass Pool Inn. We also had a casino called the La Mirage Casino, and he paid them also $250,000 to change their name. So he pulled out $500,000 to make sure he could use the Mirage name. No one knows where the original Mirage Pool sign Inn went to after the name change. We also don't know where the Glass Pool Inn sign is. If you want me to talk about the Glass Pool Inn, let me know and I will. So that's a little bit about the Mirage. Thanks for staying in. This was a long one. I hope you enjoy these, and I will see you guys later.